So if you would give esteemed audience kind of an overview of your background, and we'll go from there.
Sure, yeah. So I grew up outside of Boston, Massachusetts, and I always wanted to be a writer. I went to college at the University of Chicago. I majored in psychology, and then after I graduated from there, I started looking for publishing jobs in New York. I got my first job in the marketing department at Penguin Young Readers, and I did marketing there for children's books for about 2 years, and then I moved over to the editorial side of things at Viking Children's Books. I was there for about 10 years, and I edited books for readers of all ages, picture books through YA, and fiction, nonfiction, a little bit of everything. And it was really great. But about 3 years ago, I left there because I was moving to Austin, Texas, which is where I am now. And so since moving to Austin, I've been doing a lot of freelance editorial work and editorial development for various clients. And then in addition to all that, I also write books of my own. So my first book came out in 2010, and my most recent book, The Campaign, which you just mentioned, came out this past fall. So I've done 5 YA novels now, and I am in the process of writing my 3rd middle grade.
So just whatever it is in publishing, you do it all. So my first question is, psychology is where you start. When did you make? I know you were writing books as a child, right? You were writing picture books, and then, well, you know better than I do. How many books did you write before you graduated high school?
6. I mean, 6 novel length books. If you're counting picture books, I don't know, infinite.
I count it all. So fair enough.
I mean, they weren't terribly good, but whatever. That's how you learn how to write a good book, is you write a lot of not so good books first.
So you've got that passion. I know that you're competing in gymnastic meets at that time. You're doing debate tournaments around the world. And then out of all those talents, you pursue psychology. So were you thinking that you would become a psychologist, or what was the plan?
No, I never thought I would be a psychologist. I was just really interested in psychology. I mean, there's no, you can't major in undergrad in children's books. Or if you can, you couldn't at my school. And I knew what I wanted to do was work in children's books. And there's not a particular degree that you need in order to do that. I mean, I think it is very helpful to have a college degree. They generally expect to see that, and you should be able to read and write and speak critically. But you can do that with any number of liberal arts majors. And I was interested in psychology, and and I think it's relevant to storytelling, of looking at how people interact with one another. Like social psychology is the bit that most interests me. So it's about relationships among people and how they influence one another, and how they change their minds and stuff like that. And I think that comes up a lot in thinking about characters.
Do you have specific go-tos? Like, I don't know if you put together, what do they call that when you have a list of character traits that you assign and you fill out like a chart? Do you do things like that for your characters?
Not now. I did when I was a kid. That was when I was a kid and telling stories. I would draw a picture of each character and write down a lot of traits about them and what all their hobbies were and a list of their friends and stuff like that, and sort of like playing imaginary games, kind of where I would create a whole world. But now it's not. I don't pre-plan characters in that sort of way.
Gotcha. Did you find that got in the way, or did you find that you were then going at it? What I found when I've done that is if I know a bunch of things about a character, I'm going to find a way to mention exactly where they graduated from school, what their major was, and it may or may not be relevant to the story, but by God, I did so much work.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I think that's how you run the risk of telling rather than showing. Whereas if you just kind of let these things come up naturally, and you're showing through anecdotes and scenes, the experiences that they've had and how they respond to things, then I don't need to state she was shy. It's a better read.